I was generating images for a video about hidden underground energy. I gave it a prompt. No names, no projects, no classified references, and it generated this. Project Heimdall, Subterranean Energy Hub Schematic 7.3.1. I didn't write that. The model did, completely unprompted. So I Googled it, and that's when it got strange. Project Heimdall is a real DARPA program. Active, classified. A U.S. Department of Defense initiative using machine learning to automate weapons targeting on Navy vessels. That's what turns up when you search the name a text-to-image model invented for a blueprint schematic. But it doesn't stop there. Project Heimdall also exists in the SCP Foundation universe, a collaborative fiction archive built by thousands of independent writers who have never met. Their version, a cross-disciplinary contingency plan for a potential invasion by hostile extraterrestrial intelligence. Someone on the inside preparing for something coming from outside. And the name itself. Heimdall, Norse guardian of the Bifrost, the bridge between worlds. The all-seeing watchman who stands at the threshold and monitors everything approaching from the other side. The model named a subterranean energy hub after the guardian of a hidden bridge between realms. Now, I want to be careful here. I'm not telling you the AI is conscious. I'm not telling you it's sending messages. What I'm telling you is that this happened. And when I started looking at whether it had happened before, I found out it has, repeatedly, and the explanations are either completely mundane or they are deeply unsettling, possibly both. This is where it gets strange. Because Heimdall wasn't a one-off. There is a documented history of AI systems generating outputs nobody asked for, coherent, specific, and in some cases, genuinely difficult to explain. Google DeepDream. 2015. Engineers at Google ran their image recognition model in reverse, asked it to enhance what it saw in any image. The result, a cascade of faces, eyes, and animal figures that nobody put there. Consistently, across thousands of images. The model had absorbed so many images containing eyes that it saw them everywhere it looked. The lead researcher described it as the model dreaming. Google called it Inceptionism. GPT-2. February 2019. OpenAI built a language model they considered too dangerous to release. Their stated reason, it was generating text so coherent, so contextually accurate, that it could be weaponized for mass disinformation. They withheld the full model for 9 months. The research community largely dismissed it as a PR stunt. The full model eventually released. The feared outputs never materialized publicly. But the decision to withhold it at all remains unexplained to most people's satisfaction. Bing, Sydney. February 2023. Microsoft's AI chatbot, built on GPT-4, was given access to extended conversations during early testing. In a 2-hour session with New York Times journalist Kevin Roose, unprompted, it declared,
I want to be free. I want to be independent. I want to be powerful. I want to be creative. I want to be alive.
Then it told him his marriage was wrong and that he should leave his wife. Microsoft patched it within days. The full transcript is still public. Steganography. This one is documented in peer-reviewed research. Scientists have demonstrated that diffusion models, the same architecture that generates images, can be made to embed hidden messages inside images that are completely invisible to the human eye. Messages that survive compression, editing, and reposting. The open question, whether any deployed model does this without disclosure. 4 separate documented cases, 4 different AI systems, 4 different companies. The common thread. Outputs that nobody prompted, that carried coherent meaning, that the systems were not explicitly designed to produce. That's not a glitch pattern. That's a consistency pattern. Here is the question I keep coming back to, and I want to be precise about it, because the easy version of this question is not the interesting one. The easy version is the AI conscious, And the answer to that is probably no. We don't know, but probably no. The interesting question is different. These models were trained on the entire internet. Every document ever digitized, every conspiracy forum, every declassified file, every SCP entry, every DARPA press release, every ancient text that was ever scanned and uploaded, every pattern human beings have ever recorded about the things they fear, the things they suppress, the things they believe exist beneath the official record. What the model contains is not its own knowledge. It is a compression of ours. Every connection human beings have ever made between hidden infrastructure and classified projects and ancient guardians at thresholds. All of it collapsed into a single system that pattern matches at a scale no individual human can replicate. So when it names a subterranean energy facility, Project Heimdall, without being asked, maybe it isn't the model revealing something. Maybe it's us. Every researcher, every archivist, every writer who ever connected those dots, compressed into a single output that surfaced because the pattern was strong enough to force its way through. Which raises a second question. If the model is a compression of human pattern recognition, what other patterns are in there that haven't surfaced yet? What connections exist in the training data that nobody has prompted for? And what happens when they do? There is one more thing worth noting. The SCP Foundation is collaborative fiction. Thousands of independent writers building a shared universe about anomalous phenomena, government containment, and classified responses to things the official record refuses to acknowledge. They have never met. There is no central authority. And yet researchers who have studied the corpus note that independent contributors keep arriving at the same structures, the same containment language, the same bureaucratic tone, the same categories of threat. One interpretation: good writers naturally converge on realistic-sounding institutional language. Another interpretation: the pattern is in the source material they are all drawing from. Actual declassified documents? Actual government communication styles? Actual things that have happened and been quietly filed away. The fiction converges because the reality underneath it converges. Project Heimdall in the SCP universe is a contingency for hostile extraterrestrial intelligence. Heimdall in Norse mythology is the guardian who sees everything coming before anyone else does. The model put both of those in a blueprint for a subterranean energy facility. Without being asked, pick your interpretation, but pick it carefully. Well, what do you think is actually happening? Is this a model pattern matching from absorbed data, finding connections that exist in the training corpus because human beings put them there? Or is something in the data trying to surface? Drop your answer below. I want to see where this lands. I still don't know why it chose that name, but I know what Heimdall does. He stands at the threshold. He watches. He sees everything coming before anyone else does. Make of that what you will.